Do you want to become independent at the youngest age possible? And do you want to have a focused mind to do that financial independence, social independence, and the family independence, and many, many more, right? So in this video, we are going to discuss about the 3 strong elements that you need to have in order to become independent, right? So before we actually get into that, make sure that you are ready with your pen, paper, everything ready, and type it down in the comment box, ready to learn, so that you can grasp as much as you can and integrate all the learnings from this training. Okay, let's go and get started with this one. So one thing that you have to understand is that, see, for any pyramid or any type of structures today, like skyscrapers or anything, it's the foundation that matters the lot, right? So the deeper the foundation, the taller the building can be. So same thing is true with you being independent. So you need to understand 3 important strong elements that keeps you stable and keep on growing you further from that time, right? Because one thing I understood in my life, like whenever I used to fail and do mistakes and struggle and not finding my way, when I get stuck, when I feel plateau, I don't know what I want to do, all of that. So I understood it boils down to these strong elements. If I fix this, then all my problems gets fixed. In the journey of becoming independent, if you fix this, you get everything clear. So let's go and understand what are the 3 important elements. Sometimes what will happen is that we don't take these 3 elements very deeply, right? So the first one is mentorship, right? So which means that sometimes we will be listening to our mentor, but we will not listen deeply, because when you listen deeply, when you get it 100%, you go and take action. Otherwise, what you do is you don't take it that seriously. You will say, okay, so when time comes, maybe at that time I'll do it. Maybe this is not the right time for me. This is not the right age for me. I don't have money. I don't have time. We keep on giving excuses, right? So when you are ready, mentors will arrive and help you get started in the journey of you becoming independent. But sometimes we give all these excuses and we stay where we are, and that doesn't allow us to become independent faster. If you want to become independent faster, then it's very important that you learn from the mentors who have already done it and do what they say, right? So surrender to the process, right? So surrender to the mentor and start taking actions, start taking massive actions and take things to the next level, right? But having a mentorship is the first element. But along with the mentorship, so you need to also have a good environment or good peers who are in that journey along with you. Otherwise, that journey is going to be boring, right? You need that excited people, you need that energetic people around you. Like I remember in my journey of becoming independent, so I have seen like a lot of people around me who are hungry for success, hungry for learning, hungry to grow, right? That hunger needs to be there. People around you are, if like they're completely distracted, not knowing what to do, then you feel like not implementing things, which is the third element of becoming independent. Because either most of the time what will happen is that people have the mentorship, but they don't have the right environment and they don't implement what they learn from mentor. Sometimes what will happen is that they are having a good positive environment and mentorship is also there, but they feel like, why am I not getting results? Is because they are not implementing. So which means that, so these are very, very important 3 elements that one must need to consider very, very seriously in order to become independent. So let's understand this particular thing. See, because when you are actually learning from the mentor means you are learning from the one who has already done it, which means that whatever you want in your life, he has already achieved that in his life, right? So you know that, okay, at this age I wanted to achieve this particular thing. But sometimes what will happen is that our goals and dreams will be la la land or wishy-washy dreams or la la land dreams. If you are in wishy-washy and la la land dreams, then it's very important to come back to your senses and come back to in reality. Because sometimes what will happen is that, see, for example, it is something like this. There are people who actually dream like, I want to have $100 billion. But one thing you have to understand, there are only 140 billionaires, right, who have crossed $1 billion mark on this planet, in the country called as India, and we have closer to right now 2,500 to 2,700 billionaires in the whole planet Earth, right? So which means that having the realistic goal, but also having ambitious and aspirational goals, that creates like breaking of your comfort zone, right? So then what will happen? Okay, if I can achieve this, because one thing you have to understand, so you're having a bigger dreams or goals and all of that is not a big thing, but you having the right set of mentors for that to help you achieve that, and you having the right capability and the right attitude within you to achieve that. Otherwise things will not happen. So it's very, very important that you get that. And the second thing is that, so you walk the talk with the mentors. Like, so mentor is also somebody who actually walk the talk, right? So what he says, what he does, and what he thinks all matches, all syncs. Same thing is true with you. It should be like when you are with the mentor, so you walk the talk. If you say I'm going to do this to the mentor, make sure that you do that, right? So that is very, very important. And then, so always, so one thing that what you need to understand is that mentor is somebody who always want to help you achieve big. So understand that if mentor is having so much intention for you to succeed, then most of the time what happens is this, right? So mentor's intention of helping you succeed is going to be higher than your intention to succeed. So at that time what will happen is that you get lazy, you get procrastinating and all of that. But understand that, so same thing is true with your parents, right? So parents are all the time saying that, so I want to help you grow forward in your career, I want you to achieve bigger, I want to have the kind of respect that what you deserve in the society and all of that. But sometimes we do not take action. So it's very, very important that we respect the mentor, we trust the mentor, and we take things with the process what we learn from the mentors, right? That's the first one. The second one is environment. Whichever the environment you are in, so rather than just seeking something from the environment, always I want this from the peers, I want this support, I want this. So also understand in the process you need to grow bigger and give, right? Take as much of support as possible as accountability buddies, but every individual who are around you, see how can you give something, which means that in order to give something you need to have something, right? So what is that you have is something, whatever area you are succeeding, help as many people as possible around you. So that is the best way of giving. Then you receive more and more support from the universe and from the environment so that you can give more and more, right? So it is actually a process of that nature. The second one is you build a real-time people who are working with you on various different projects with your skills. That is where we see building community, right? You got to build that network because your net worth is your network, the type of network that you build. So network means who knows you and who you know. Both of that matters a lot, and you build that beautiful network. And it's not just about who knows you and who you know, it's also about how well you know them and how well they know you. So that kind of bonding, that kind of community, that what you build, the trusted environment where transformation happens, then beautiful things will happen, right? So the third one is community. So you keep on growing that community. You want to have, like, so for me right now, I want to build a community, a global community where I have my friends across the world, right? So something like that. So keep a goal with the environment. What is that you want to create for yourself? Sometimes you be part of certain environments, so contribute and give and build it forward and take things forward, because when everybody in the community comes with an intention of giving, everybody gains. That's the beautiful things. But if everybody comes to the community but nobody like intend to give, nobody gains, right? So that is very, very important. And the third element in implementation is values and code of honor. Before implementing something, sometimes what will happen is that you learn strategies from the mentors, you learn tactics, you get tools, you get methods, you get principle and all of that. But more important than anything is values, right? So if your values change, a person will change, right? So having the right set of values, so value of humanity, value of serving, value of giving, value of supporting, right? Having the code of honor, working with an intention of right set of heart set, right? Like a heart set of a farmer, right? Farmer would have actually grown the food for his own house, but he said, I choose to grow beyond this. He might be doing it profit in that growing, but still he chose to do more work so that he can feed more people, right? There is a good intention, and also he's doing it profitably. That's absolutely okay. So have an intention of a farmer, have an intention of a soldier, right? So he could have actually been a security for his house, but he said, I'm going to secure the nation, right? So fight for the nation, die for the nation, right? Which means that you got to die for your goals. You got to die for something which is bigger than you. Only then you will be able to make things happen. I hope that you're able to understand that. So having that intentions, right? Having the right intentions to grow beyond can change your life. Because one thing you have to understand, farmer means when he is actually throwing the seeds and creating that first set of like cultivation and all of that, he's putting his heart in it, right? And he's doing something bigger than himself. So if you are not doing something bigger than yourself, you cannot become independent, because independent is also saying that you are obliterating the boundaries and growing bigger and bigger and bigger. So there is no boundary to that, right? So that is very, very important. So having that value system in you can do a lot more wonders, right? So having that code of honor with you, that I got to have an attitude of a farmer, right? I got to have an attitude of a soldier. Soldier is willing to die for something which is bigger than himself, right? So which means that you don't need to die for the country right now, but you can die for something which is bigger, because 1947 was people fought for the geographical independence, right? So now the fight is for individual independence, so that the nation can become independent in a prosperous way. If every individual becomes a making, then India is in making. So we believe that individual making is India making, right? So if you believe that, so type it down in the comment box. Individual making is India making. Absolutely, right? So having that hard set to work forward and having an attitude of a champion, right? So champion means what? Like, for example, if you see people who play for Indian cricket team, or for tennis, or various other sports like Mary Kom, right? So boxing and various other things. But one thing you see, that there is a spirit, right? Your inner spirit is there in the game and 100% involved in the process of implementation. They don't just say, I want to learn cricket in the books. No, it's implementation. I want to learn I want to learn boxing in the books. It will not happen. It's all practical. So making sure that in the journey of becoming independent, try to see the world in a practical way and start implementing everything possible, right? The second one is having a growth and never settle mindset, because most of the time, this is the one terminology we all hear people repeating it again and again and again. What's the word? The word is, I want to settle in my career, right? But one thing you have to understand, whatever settles on this planet Earth will stink. Like if water settles in the same place, it will start smelling, it starts stinking, right? If a box settles in the same place, the dust comes in, the web will come out, so all of that, right? So if a house settles, again, it becomes Bhoot Bangla, right? So which means that whatever settles, then it will stink. So if you have a settling mindset, then you will have a stinky mindset. You will never learn something, you will never grow something, you will never go and read any book, you never go for any trainings, you never invest on yourself. You always think investing on yourself as an expense, and you think it's okay where I am right now. So then it will start happening as okay being poor, okay being with the lower standards. So that will not create any massive growth to achieve independence, right? So that is very, very important. And the third and the most important one is taking massive action with the skill set, right? That is about skill set. So you having the skill set to do whatever it takes, right? So you are able to understand that in this particular things. I hope that you learned today that 3 core elements to become independent. So make sure that you keep this as a tracking point in yourself. So am I actually doing what my mentor is saying? Am I implementing it? Am I having the right environment? So because based on these 3 things, you actually start building yourself and taking yourself to the next level. So I'll be really, really excited to actually see your comments and personally interact with every one of you here. So if you're watching this in Facebook or YouTube, so just to share your learnings and lessons, what did you learn from this particular thing? And if you have any questions on anything when it comes to you becoming independent, I would be always happy to help you and create more value videos for you. So if you love that, so keep your questions down in the comment box. I'll be creating more and more valuable content in the coming days. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed it yet, and like, share with the loved ones who definitely need to see this video. Look forward to see you in the next video.